Welcome to another video. Today we're talking about Teradek wireless. So today we have Jaden with us. Jaden's one of our camera ops and talented directors. You've probably heard her directing quite often. And I wanted her to be on today because honestly, wireless is something that we've dealt a lot with. Good, bad, and ugly, right?
Yeah.
And it is super frustrating to have bad wireless.
Very.
So we've had, I think we've had every product or every model of Teradek over the years, and as well as other competitors. And some of the other ones that are on the market are pretty, I mean, they're good, but each one definitely works differently in different environments. In fact, I think one of ours doesn't even work at one of the venues.
Yeah. Or it knocks the wireless
internet
out.
Yeah, or some of them take out the wireless networks in some of these locations that we're at. So one of the good things about that I love about Teradek is honestly the build quality. It's a really solid product. But what's important to us is not just something that works, but something that stays on our cameras, something that has a good picture, has low latency, basically all of those things. And in my opinion, I think these really hit the mark. The models that we're talking about today are actually the Teradek Bolt 4Ks, and these are the 750 models. They make a 750 and a 1500, which essentially is the same product, just one has a more powerful transmitter. This guy right here is the receiver, and what's good about these is they are HDMI and SDI, and then as well as the transmitter, it's also HDMI and SDI. In the past, sometimes these come with internal batteries. These ones don't, but it does have a LEMO connector, and then this one has the V-mount battery plates on them. Teradek does make gold mount as well. So Jaden, let's go ahead and show them how, kind of what our rig would look like on a Sunday. You can just kind of assemble it. This is kind of a stripped down version of what we normally have, and she's just clipping on the transmitter and then popping a battery on. What's cool about this configuration is we're taking a battery, it's powering the transmitter, and then it also powers the camera. Mm-hmm. And so for the most part, that works really well. I think one of the things or concerns about this in the past has been, the additional weight or strain on these plates. And, we did learn that you don't want giant batteries on the back of these because it can kind of strain it a little bit. But I think overall, having the right appropriate battery has really made it a lot better.
Yeah, I just like how this becomes part of the camera instead of having to worry about, like you said, mounting it separately or having it, just hanging off somewhere. It actually becomes an extension, and you don't have to worry about manhandling it. You carry it
like a magic arm.
The camera. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when you're holding it, talk about the ergonomics of this, because these do get hot, and I think pretty much any transmitter gets hot because they're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
This placement's probably better, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Some of the other wireless we've used, they do get hot to the point that, it doesn't necessarily burn you, but it feels like it might if you touch it.
Yeah.
And you don't really run into this one with how we hold them. Whereas with the other ones, they're hanging up here, or you have them mounted to the side, and you hit your arm on it, and it's like, oh, okay. We don't have that with this one.
It's funny. It's like a hot stove,
Yeah, don't touch it.
So one of the cool things with a Komodo, it's such a compact camera already that when you're holding it, it really doesn't add a whole lot of length. It probably makes it more like an Ursa. It probably builds the camera back out. And I think that's another thing with Komodo is it's been so small, people are trying to figure out how to build them out.
For sure.
But it gives you the option to do things like this without adding an absurd amount of weight or whatnot.
It definitely makes it way easier to operate the Komodo as a handheld. Mm-hmm. I don't think we would enjoy it near as much if we didn't have an extension like this.
The other cool thing about the Teradek transmitter is it does have both SDI, so it has SDI in and a loop out, plus an HDMI, the LEMO connector, which is all really helpful for just different monitors and things that are on camera. So sometimes you save a few bucks and you buy a cheaper model wireless kit, and you don't have all this, and you end up finding out the moment you switch to a new camera, change out your monitor, you have less options, you end up buying it twice, you end up spending more money.
Yeah.
Which is stupid, right? Like, we don't want to do that. So placement of this, for good reception, this placement right here guarantees that the wireless is always going to be in the best position. I mean, you know this, like, people tend to like do weird things with antennas, and it's just a waste, and they knock it and whatnot, and it's pretty rough.
Yeah, we have some guys that just do this.
And when you're directing, it's so frustrating. Like, if you listen to our multi-views, there's plenty of us troubleshooting wireless while on comms, and it drives me nuts. So, beautiful placement, makes it super easy. Another thing too that we don't actually have one here, but they do make these H antennas or H pattern, and so you literally just replace these with. They have like the little saucer thing at the end of the antenna, just kind of is on the top. It actually makes the reception quite a bit better if you're having problems. So, but these do operate in the 5 gigahertz band. I think we had one issue where these were so powerful, where it literally took out the wireless link to one of our buildings. So it actually downed the network. So we learned that you actually want to use the Spectrum Analyzer tools. And so we learned the hard way. These guys have an amazing scanning tool built into them. It works with your phone, and actually oftentimes when I'm on jib, I can scan from my phone while being in the back. And I can scan the room when you guys are all having problems, and I can just see if anything has moved or changed. And so the ability to be able to change frequencies on the fly in the middle of a shoot without having to be crawling up on a ladder or
super helpful
jumping on stage, like super weird, right? So that's actually probably one of the main reasons why I wanted this, was because they do it better than everyone else, in my opinion.
Good reason.
Yeah, right? And if you listen to our multi-views, we had so many problems, and I'm like, yes, this is worth it just for the information. I think we actually pulled out a lot of RF scanners and tools with IT, and did quite a bit of homework, and ultimately the information was not that useful. And so just by getting something like this where we could scan and we could see, it made a huge difference in just really like deploying these successfully in our venues. The other thing too was this. So these are these are not the LT model. These are the 4K 750s. They also do 4K wireless. 0 visual loss at 0 latency. So these are extremely fast, and the picture quality is actually just better than everyone else. And some of the cheaper ones, I don't know if you know this, but some of the cheaper ones actually compress or encode the video footage quite a bit to make that wireless transmission better.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose quality.
Right.
And these are, for a non-licensed product, these are the highest quality ones that I've seen for a live production environment. So that's pretty amazing for me. They also have they have a high density and a low density mode. So you can actually, I think you can easily put up to 6 of these in an environment. But some of the higher models you can do like up to 20 or something crazy.
Wow.
Which is amazing. So it's just extended range. But the other thing about that though is these guys, the BB3 is the newest chipset. The 4K models have the BB3. And basically what that means is any of these models that have the BB3 chipset are interchangeable. So you can pair multiple receivers with one transmitter, and you can use different models. And so sometimes you can get monitors with the wireless receivers built in, which is pretty handy. Small HD actually makes a model where you have it built in. So it's essentially a bolt built into the monitor.
Oh, that's nice.
It's really cool. So if you're like, so maybe we're using this on a Sunday for church, and maybe during the week we're doing a remote shoot, you can actually turn it into a field monitor, which is really cool. And you're not like having to reconfigure things. It's super portable. So some of those like live stage environment workflows and then cinematic workflows, it makes it really fluid. I think back in the day we used to have the earlier models of these, and we'd have to take the stupid little paper clip and reset it. just to put it into pairing mode, and you would spend like an hour trying to make it happen. Now it takes like 1 or 2 minutes. So,
if that.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's a pretty good overview. I would say my conclusion is I'm pretty much a fan. They do hit a good price point. While these are not inexpensive, I think it's about $6,500-ish retail for this kit right here, which is a transmitter and a receiver. And I have tested 4K and it works amazing. But do you have any last thoughts?
No, I mean, I just love that we're able to operate with confidence, knowing that the likelihood of us losing signals slim to none.
Yeah, I think the only couple times we've had issues, we literally power cycled it, but it's not really the product's fault.
No, just the environment.
Yeah.
So it's just helpful to know that as an operator in a live broadcast environment where you don't get a chance to pause and go back and fix things, this is dependable, and you're able to just go on, capture, and keep going.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, guys, hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.